All right, get this. In the first of a four-part series titled Our Dishonest President, the LA Times writes, quote, "It was no secret during the campaign that Donald Trump was a narcissist and a demagogue who used fear and dishonesty to appeal to the worst in American voters. The Times called him unprepared and unsuited for the job he was seeking," which, by the way, he got, and said his election would be a catastrophe. Fox News contributor and former education secretary under President Reagan, Bill Bennett, joins us now. Bill, you're not immune to seeing the bias in the media. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. Hey, how do you think that four-part series will come out, Brian? How do you think it'll end?
I think it'll end with, I hate him, I really hate him, boy do I hate him, and I still hate him. Welcome.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now, this is all about invalidating the Trump presidency. The LA Times, the mainstream media, the Democrats want to essentially nullify the results of the election. They do it by trashing Trump and, as you read, by trashing the electorate. He just has to be sure that he stays on course. Big week this week, the meeting with President of China, President Xi. But Gorsuch, this is huge. When we were arguing about this before the election, and I was supporting Trump, I said one reason is sufficient: Supreme Court appointments. These guys outlast 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 terms of a president.
So Gorsuch is going to get out of committee this week. They think it's going to be passed by Friday. Does Bill Bennett, the strategist, not the idealist, the strategist, think it's better for Republicans to use the nuclear option because the next justice could be as early as June, and they'll need it?
Yes, if they have to. I mean, McConnell has been clear on this, Brian. You've made this point. He's been emphatic. He will be confirmed. So they have to get him on. They have to honor that promise. I think the mistake here is on the Democrat side. I think Schumer's really off balance here because, you know, they raise a fuss over Gorsuch. What are they going to do the next time? They're spending all their energy, all their fury on Gorsuch. Next time, there could be someone who's more identifiably conservative or right-wing, as they would say, and they will have spent themselves. So I think this is a big mistake. This is, after all, the Scalia seat. It's the next one that could be,
right.
You know, someone of a different persuasion.
Bill, yesterday the president golfed, but he golfed with Rand Paul, after which Rand Paul says we're getting closer when it comes to health care. Wait a second. He echoes the thoughts of the Freedom Caucus, who he had a brushback pitch against on Friday. What do you think is going on behind the scenes? Because the president says the Obamacare redux is back.
Yeah, great question. I'm glad that this is not a done issue. I'm glad they're not regarding it as a dead letter. And I'm glad he spent time with Rand Paul. The one thing the president has done that's worried me is the criticism of the Freedom Caucus. I know a lot of those guys. I could have gone with the Ryan plan. I could have gone with the Freedom Caucus plan. But the president, as you know, needs the Freedom Caucus to get legislation passed. He's going to need him to get his tax plan passed. He's going to need him for other things. So I think that embrace of Rand Paul, who is, you know, essentially a Senate Freedom Caucus member, was a good thing. And I hope he doesn't give up this issue. We can get something done.
Yeah, I think it's going to be all 3 phases into one, passes out of the House and let the Senate deal with it. Rand Paul's probably reassuring him he can get it done. We'll see. Bill, it's always great to get your perspective. Thanks so much.
Right, and remember, everything we know about Russia now, we knew before the election when the Democrats did not want to talk about Russia.
I'm trying to go through a whole show without saying Russia.
Okay, you're right. Why should we be like everybody else? You're right.
All right, thanks, Bill. You did outdress me.